So we last left off finishing our depreciation and amortization. So you won't be needing your depreciation tables anymore because we're completely done with them. So now we only have to just do a few more transactions and then we're pretty much done with our adjustments. Okay. So then Monday we can go ahead and follow up with our adjusted trial balance. Okay. So we completed all of our depreciations and amortizations here. So let's see. We need to adjust our office supplies because we only have $80 left on hand. Okay? So that means we used how much did we use? Do we even know how much office supplies we actually have?
I don't remember that far back.
That's okay. Where can I find the value of my
In our ledgers?
in your ledgers? Good, right? That's how you find out where the value of your total office supplies are. So in this case, assets, we're going to locate my office supplies. So it should be right above. Here it is, office supplies. So we bought paper, printer, ink, we bought some pens, and we bought some labels. Okay, we bought a total of $150 worth. Now in this case, we're just going to guesstimate. We said that we have approximately $80 on hand. Now, this is not what I'm going to do. I'm not going to count every single sheet of paper that I bought and start calculating every single cost because realistically, that's too much. Okay? I'm just taking a rough estimate. If I have half a ream of paper left, then I probably have at least $10 left, right? If I have some of my ink left or I haven't even opened my ink, then I can say I still have my ink cartridges. So that's whatever, $50, right? So in this case, I'm just taking a guesstimation of what I have left on hand. In this case, I was told I have about $80 left on hand. So how many office supplies did I actually use?
$70.
You used about $70 worth of office supplies. So if I used my office supplies, what account am I going to associate using office supplies? It's not in sales. Is it in equity? No.
Operating expenses, there's an office supplies expense.
Office supplies expense right there allows me to, again, expenses mean three things. It means that you used the product or used something, you're trying to get rid of something, or third, you spent money for the operations of your business. So in this case, I used my office supplies. So therefore, I am going to be crediting or debiting my office supplies expense account 6750. Okay? So I have office supplies expense. Okay? Now, if I am using $70 worth of office supplies, where am I taking it out from?
You need to credit office supplies.
You need to take it out directly from the account because you no longer have 150. You only have 80 left. So in this case, you're going to take it directly out from the office supplies account, which is account number 11800. Okay? So your note here can just simply say, I'd make an adjustment for the month of June. And since I'm already in my ledger for my office supplies, let's go ahead and take it out. Okay. So there you go. We're going to credit $70. So therefore, how much office supplies should I have left on hand?
80.
Whoops. Typo. There's something wrong with my Excel today. I should have $80 left on hand, which is true, right? That's what it says. Now, of course, if you're actually going to be looking specific details, then maybe you're going to have, half a ream of paper left, printer ink left, and so on and so forth. You can list it out, right? So you get a little more accurate information. In this case, I don't really care to know how much I have left. I just know that at the end of the day, I still have $80 left. Okay. And now I need to go to my operating expenses because I need to go ahead and put in my office supplies expense. So right above purchases, actually above payroll. Okay, here it is, office supplies expense. Adjustment, used office supplies. For a total of $70. Okay. And that's it. So then now it says accrue Irene's wages. She worked a full week. Now, what does it mean to accrue for wages?
That means that the service has been provided, but it's not time to pay her, but you still need to put it into your books so that you have it as an expense that is payable soon.
Correct, right? Service has been provided. The job has been done. So in this case, I'm not paying her yet, but I am going to accrue because this is in the month of June. This is the hours that she completed within the month of June, right? Especially for payroll, you never say especially when you're in between weeks, right? If you're doing a bi-weekly, right? 1 week in June, 1 week in July, you need to split it up because you need to make sure that when you calculate all of your expenses, you calculated every single penny you spent in June. Okay? Even though you didn't pay her yet because it's not paycheck day, she still worked for you in the month of June. So that's an expense that you have to incur. So that is correct, right? That's how you accrue these hours because the service has been completed, but you haven't paid her yet. So that's the idea. Now, in this case, I believe you do have enough space. Okay. So this is for Irene. Okay. So this is her timesheet. As you can see, hasn't done anything for next week. Next week is the full first week of July. So this is what the hours that she has completed for us, right? She worked on Friday, right? She worked on Saturday, and okay, hold on. Monday she worked. Tuesday she worked. If you remember, the payroll period started on the 24th of June. Okay, so she did Monday, she did Tuesday. Her days off is Wednesday and Thursday. She comes back to work on Friday, Saturday, and today's June 30th, which is Sunday. Okay, so there you go. So she completed a grand total of 40 hours that she's worked this week. Okay, so again, how do we go ahead and accrue this? How do I journalize that I'm going to accrue Irene's salaries and wages?
Well, you use salary and wage payable and salary and wage expense.
Correct, because since I'm not going to pay her now, this is the money that I owe her. Okay? So now it becomes a liability. So this is where we will be using the salaries and wages payable account. So first, I need to address how much is it going to be expense for the month. So I'm going to be needing my salaries and wages expense, just like as normal when I pay her. Only difference is instead of paying her, I'm going to owe her the money. Right? With a salaries and wages payable. Okay? So in this case, let me take a look at what those accounts are. Let me see. Salaries and wages expense is 6810, while payroll is 24. Should be 2410. Yep, 2410. Okay, so 6810 and 2410. Okay. So in this case, how much am I going to accrue for Irene? Well, where do we know this information?
In subsidiary ledger.
In the subsidiary ledger under employees. So in this case, if you want to insert some extra rows here, you can, or in this case, you don't have to, because in this case, we can just I'll put it in there, okay? So in this case, her payroll period doesn't end until July. When does it end? Let's see. So her payroll period ends on the, ooh, that's the wrong number. It's going to end on July 7th, and we will not pay her until July 12th. So in this case, we can go ahead and put that number in here, that we're not going to pay her until July 12th. Okay. Who is this for? This is for Irene Jameson. Okay. And she's earning $12.50 per hour. Right now, she's accrued so far 40 hours. There. Okay. She's accrued 40 hours. So how much money do I owe Irene as of now?
$500.
You owe her $500. Okay, great. So I'm going to go ahead and acknowledge that. I owe her $500. Okay. And of course, what you can do here, you could say accrue for Irene. Okay. So notice this. Now, why am I not calculating all of my taxes, my and all that stuff? Why am I not calculating that right now?
Because we don't know how many hours she's gonna work the first week of July before we needed to pay her for the 2 weeks.
Exactly. This is just what we owe her for now, because these are the hours that she actually for surely confirmed with us and has worked. We don't know. Irene might call in sick on Monday. Irene might call sick on Friday. We do not know. So in this case, we cannot calculate our federal income tax withholdings yet, because we don't know what her grand total amount is. That only happens when you actually pay your employees, right? So in this case, that's what happens. Now, for example, what happens when I do pay my employee? Well, I'll show you down here. This is what you're going to do. You're going to have another salaries and wages expense, okay, for whatever X amount of hours that she has claimed. And down below is going to be your salaries and wages payable, okay? Because this time you're not owing her any money, any more money anymore. You are claiming what she is going to get at the end of July, right, or July 12th, right, or her paycheck day, right? And then of course, then you're going to follow up with all of the taxes that are required, and then her paycheck. So that's how you're going to tally up or write her paycheck in the month of July. Is that you're going to claim the extra hours that she's claimed for the salaries and wages expense for the month of July, for the week of July, and then take the money that you owe her for June, and then so on and so forth, okay? So that's how you're going to pay her and use the salaries and wages payable, because that's what you're doing. Right now, you owe her in July. July, you pay her. So you don't owe her anymore. Okay? So there you go. All right. So that means that's just enough space for us to go ahead and move on to the next page here. So let's go ahead and plug our numbers into the worksheet here, the ledger. Okay. So we have, once again, operating expenses, right? We do have a salaries and wages expense. Okay, so this one you're going to have to increase a row here. It's the 30th. This is for Irene, but I'm going to write accrue Irene for 40 hours. Okay. It's the 24th still page, and you're claiming her for $500. So therefore, total salaries and wages expense is now increased to $2,800. Okay. And now, because we didn't pay her, we now owe her that money. So we're going to go to my liabilities, and we're going to locate my salaries and wages payable account. Here you go. Salaries and wages are payable. Okay. And I'm going to write here, same thing, accrue Irene for 40 hours. General Journal, page 24 still. And she's going to claim, or we owe her $500. Okay. No need to update the subsidiary ledger because you already did that by doing this section here. So again, once you get over this portion, just make sure that you do put a line there and adjust her hours accordingly. Okay. So then let's see what's next. It says I have to also accrue for Tim's earnings, Tim's payroll for the week. Now, in this case, if the payroll period started on Monday, June 24th, and it ended on Sunday, June 30th, that is exactly 7 whole days. So in this case, how much am I going to accrue for Tim?
750, because he makes 1,500 a paycheck.
Awesome, right? If you go to the subsidiary ledger, right, you're going to identify that Tim himself makes a salary paycheck of $1,500. Now, in this case, a whole entire week went by. And if you pay him bi-weekly, like normal people, right? Then that means Tim is going to be earning half of that paycheck, because it doesn't matter whether he show up to work or not. Well, it does if he's, out for too long, then obviously you're going to have to question it. But in this case, he's been there since the day one, okay? So again, same thing. He's going to have the July 12th. Okay? And he's going to be Tim Harrison. And he's going to get paid half of this, right? So therefore, half, which is $750. Okay? The journal entry is going to be identical because this is a salaries and wages, right? Because he's salary. Okay. Only difference is we're gonna be owing him $750 this time. Okay. And of course you can change this to say accrue for Tim's paycheck. Okay, worked one week. Okay. All right. So once again, you need to plug all those numbers into your keep saying inventory, your ledger. Okay, so in this case, I already have everything open to the exact spot, so I'm already on payable, so might as well plug in the payable. Okay. Tim accrue Tim for 1 week. 25 now for $750. So therefore, grand total that you should have in your liabilities is $1,250. Okay? And last but not least, we need to plug in the payroll and the salaries and wages expense, okay, for Tim. Oops, I need one more line. Right, for $750. So therefore, grand total of salaries and wages expense is a grand total of $3,550. Okay? Right, for the whole month of June, your employees cost you $3,550. Okay? That's a lot of money. Okay? Last but not least, we need to accrue for Albert's commissions, and then we can go ahead and start creating the adjusted trial balance, which we'll wait till Monday. Okay? So in this case, accrue Albert's commissions. So how do we do that?
Well, we've been recording commission expense on the subsidiary ledger. And so we
Yes.
go check what we owe him.
All right, let's go see. Let's go check out how much money we owe Mr. Albert. We owe him $1,087.09. So in this case, I'm going to highlight this a different color because this isn't what we're going to pay him, right? This is just what I am accruing him for. So $1,087.09. $1,087.09. Okay? $1,087.09. Yes, $1,087.09. Okay. Now, to which account am I going to accrue him for?
Okay, you've got commissions expenses where it will be debited, and commissions payable is where it will be credited.
Yes, because he gets paid the same day as everybody else, Irene and Tim. So therefore, we're not paying him today either. We're going to pay him on July 12th, just like everybody else. So in this case, we are recording what we owe him for the month of June. So in this case, we got commissions expense and we got commissions payable. And this is 6820, I believe. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and make my note here to mention that I have accrue Albert's commissions, 40% of sales for June. Okay. And because we know that's the very last transaction of the whole entire adjustments, I'm going to go ahead and put in my little black bar here so then I can differentiate between the transactions, that this one has been completed. No. You guys still there?
Yes.
Awesome.
here.
Okay, good. For a second, my internet almost shut down on me. Okay. And this is going to be saved for the adjusted trial balance. Okay. So now that I have that, let's go ahead and plug in our last two transactions here. Or I guess it's technically one transaction, but two places that we got to put into the ledger. Yeah, my spreadsheet's moved around. Okay. All right. Close this up. Okay, so we got commissions expense. Page 25 here. We accrued him for $1,087.09. So where's my journal at? Okay. So therefore, how much in grand total commissions payable are we subject to have to pay or have paid for, will pay for Albert in the month of June?
$1,647.75.
Oh my, don't even know what I typed in here. So up plus minus $1,647.75. Good. And then last but not least, you're going to plug that into your liabilities because you are going to owe Mr. Albert for his commissions. Okay, so accrue Albert's commissions, 40% of sales in June. For that $1,087.09. Okay. And that is it for today. Okay. Any questions in regards to the adjustments that we have made?